Hi you guys, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft, and it is May 1st. I just did a layout review of all the pages I finished in April. I think I had 17. Some of those were 2-page layouts though, so probably 13 different layouts and designs. And so I wanted to get started on May layouts. I am still using up the Mercy Tiara March kit, and the new one's about to come in, so I have a few things left. I've cut into some stuff. None of these, I love this ledger paper, but let me explain why I'm not using it. I want to do an intro page for my 2010 album. So when you open the album, the first page, and I want it to have 2010, and I want it to have a few opportunities for different photos on there. And so before, I've done a big cut file that says 2009 and then put photos in the zeros and things like that. But I love this 2x2 cut aparts from Rainbow Avenue that came in the Mercy Tiara Kit. And I also love the hearts on the back. So if there's one of these that I don't love, I'm going to be cutting the hearts. So I want to do it as a collage and like this, but with space in between all of them, and include a few spots for 2x2 photos that I can take from a selection of photos that I don't end up putting on scrapbook pages. So I very not so carefully, you can see it's not cut very well, but I really wanted to preserve this beautiful blue paper from the kit. I've used it on at least one other page. I loved it so much, I didn't want to just chop it up to use it on that page and then just have bits and pieces. I really like it for a frame. So I went looking for a couple of different pinks that would coordinate and look good with this. And I tried white, but the whites, there's so much white on here. If it's not the exact same white, it's not going to work properly. This would match, but I don't want to waste this because not much of it's going to show. It's just going to be peeking between, in very small bits, between all of the squares. So I went into my pretty old Creative Memories stash and I pulled this piece of paper. It's solid on one side and tone on tone on the other. And I think that having the tone on tone will add a little bit of interest for the edges that are peeking through. So I'm going to go ahead and use the tone on tone. So my plan is I'm going to chop all of these up into 2x2. Some of them have already been cut into because I needed a little bit larger piece of paper from the back. So these 3 are not exactly 2x2, but all the rest are. And then I will use other scraps if I need to fill in. And then I also went into my scraps. I don't think that the alphas that came with this, they do have numbers on them, but I just don't think that those are going to be stand out enough to be the title of 2022. So I went stash digging and found these old Creative Memories numbers, and I think they kind of will fit just about perfectly to be 2010 in some of the blocks that I put down. I don't know which blocks I'm going to use yet, or if I'll just put them on the hearts or what. So my first steps are trim this paper and frame it and cut all of these, and I'll come back when I've sort of stuck them down in a preliminary order, and we'll come back and talk about it and figure out how I'm going to do the title and what other embellishments. I'm not going to leave this flat. I'm hopefully going to be able to cut out some embellishments to add on here as well. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I've made some great progress. Here, let me move this for a second. So this is, I played around, I moved things, I tried to make sure I didn't have gray right next to each other, tried to place the photos in different places, and I had enough to fill this, plus a couple. And so when I removed ones for where I wanted the photos, I tried to remove ones that sort of didn't apply to this page that I can just save for other ephemera. So for example, I took the camera off because there's already one camera. So I'll save that. So I have another camera ephemera for something else. Not that I don't have enough cameras. So I did that. I took some wax paper and laid out, tried to figure out where I wanted the 2010, and I think that on this second row is the right answer. So I also tried to place specific things that I was okay with, that would look okay with the numbers on top of them. Like the rainbow is fun, the bow is fine, and that I wouldn't be obscuring an icon that I really liked. So I think I'm okay with that. I don't love the telephone actually on there, so I don't know if maybe I'll switch that out for something else, but I do like the color because it's pulling in this blue. And I don't think I have another blue one. I just have the Friends Forever, maybe. That's bluish. But I don't want to cover up words with the camera. So I think it's just going to stay there, and I'm not going to worry about it. I might be able to put another piece of something behind it, but it won't be big enough to cover it. So, all right, so I did that. I went on the sticker sheets for this kit, which is American Crafts Sending Love, and I pulled some stickers. This is a really big sticker, so I think that I did like the bows, and you know, she was a bow girl, she wore bows at that time, but I think I might be able to cover up like this bow with this sticker. And it looked good. So there's just some things like that, and then these will get added on to some of the other ones. I found this frame in the ephemera, and I thought that might look cute depending on what pictures. So this will just be a temporary one. And then I pulled a few other pieces of ephemera. These I cut from some 2x2s that weren't quite 2x2. So I cut those, so we'll add those to some of these photos, and maybe just, you know, like in the corner of that one might be fun. Over here, since it's got the same flowers that are in there. I did pull out a hello, but I think I'll hold off on that because it's cream and I don't think it goes anywhere. So a few more things that I want to find homes for. But I was sitting here looking at it and I'm thinking to ink or not to ink, to scuff or not to scuff. And I think that I'm going to ink everything in black ink to help tie in. There's just a couple of spots of black here. But the letters are big and black, and so I want to tie those in a little better. So I think by inking everything black will accomplish two things. It'll tie all these different colors together, and it will help hide any not great cutting, like right here. So I'm not gonna torture you with an hour of inking. It won't take me an hour. I'm not gonna torture you with the inking, but I'll be back and we will stick down the ephemera. So I'm back after inking everything, and I wanted to show you guys my process for getting these laid down, you know, in straight columns and rows. So I did the first row and the last row where I wanted them, and then roughly spaced out where I wanted, you know, with a good, you know, sort of an 1/8 of an inch, not quite a 1/4 of an inch between them. I do eyeball that for the most part, but then I use my T-square ruler to help me get things lined up. And so that makes it go a little bit faster and a little less redoing, because I can visually see, get it lined up with the one next to it, and then use the ruler to get everything in order. So this process works pretty well. So I did, so I did the bottom row, I did the first column and the bottom row, and that's my base for everything. And here I'm just continuing through, placing those things down. And most of the rest of the video is sped up at 3 times speed until we get to the close-ups at the end. So I'm about to realize when I lay this down that this is not the right size. Somehow it is small. So it must have been one of those ones that I had already cut into and not realized it. So I have to go digging for another one, and I could not find the other house. I know it's in there. Oh, my dogs are playing. I know it's in there, but I could not for the life of me find it. So I settled for a different card that says "You are home," which is fine. Pardon me, I just had to stop the audio for a cough. So I just go ahead and use this one. And then I can finish up the others. And then I think next step is, can you hear the squeaking of a dog toy? So now I'm going to start looking and laying in the ephemera. And realize, oh, I should do the letters first, the numbers. I should do the title. And I don't have a word title for this, but I'm okay with that. I like just having the year. I'm okay. And because there's lots of words on the ephemera and stuff. So yeah, I really liked this little
So I'm doing that as a temporary, just a little bit of adhesive because I haven't picked the photo yet. So when I get a photo, that can move around, but I liked adding that little extra touch of black. That's a vellum little circle wreath. So I'm just looking all over for different places that I can add small things like hearts, and I'm going to end up pulling out a brad. So that's why I disappear, because I'm back behind me getting my brads out. And I think I pick a colorful brad, like maybe a yellow brad. And I did just leave that loose. It may hang down at some point, but I can fasten it down a little differently later if I choose. So I still have those stickers from the sticker pack, and that's that frame is also a very temporary until I figure out a photo. So I'm just trying to use up all the things that I pulled out and put on the wax paper. Just trying to find a home for everything. And then because these are foam stickers, that's adding a little dimension without going to the trouble of popping things up. Trying to decide on that one that says fun, I think, and it's green, so I'm just trying to find the right piece for it. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. Clearly it's something that took some fussiness. Cute flower. So I moved that. I was going to move it over because it's in the same column as the flower, but I decided I wouldn't be able to remove the adhesive very easily, so I just left it where it was. And there's a heart at the bottom of the next one. So I think I'm pretty pleased with this. And we're about to go into real time to take a look close up.
But let's do close up. And if I add another rainbow, I add another rainbow. So I haven't picked out all my photos yet because I haven't printed everything. But that's a fun 2x2 layout. So it's a 5x5 layout. Pretty fun. And you could do this with any motif, really. You could add more pictures. You could just do printed paper for each of them. So you could do a big variety. Anyway, give this a thumbs up. Thanks, you guys.